What's up everybody? In today's video we're going to be talking about the best valve oil for your trombone valve. Now I use a Hagmann valve, as you can see, and for those valves I figured that I need to use two different kinds of oil simultaneously. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. Basically it is for Hagmann valves, but I think it's applicable for other valves that you have. I used to play on Thayer valves on my old Hag, and it worked well like this also. So yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today. But hey, if this is the first time that we meet, my name is Raphael, and on this channel we talk about bass trombone, brass instruments. We talk about brass playing, technique. We do some play along videos with techniques. We do arrangements, and yeah, that's basically it. So if this is interesting to you, please consider subscribing to the channel. So today I wanted to talk about briefly, I'm going to try to make this video really short, about valve oils, which ones that I figured were the best after extensive research, because I am a little bit of a geek when it comes to equipment and things like this. Not so much anymore, but when I was a student I would be on forums and websites and trying everything that I possibly could. And what I found a few years ago, and this is what I still use now, is what is the best for those Hagmann valves. Like, you see that they're called micro Rath valves, but basically this is just the valve cap. Inside it is exactly the same. So let me take my slide off, cling, so that I can show you a little bit closer. So this is the inside of the Hagmann valve, and what I like to use inside, come on, focus on this, not on my face. Yeah, what I like to use here on those two little holes is a valve oil that is a little bit more liquid, but still not too liquid. So not those fast valves that I used, fast valve oil. This was one of my favorite ones on my Besson euphonium. But for this I use La Tromba T2 valve oil special, it's called. I know a lot of really good trumpet players use this. It's a very good brand. The smell is not too bad. I mean, it smells like valve oil, but I kind of like it. I don't know, I've been bathing in valve oil since the age of 6, I guess. So like, this brings me back childhood memories of good practice sessions, good lessons, bad practice sessions. I don't know, it's become a comfort smell, valve oil, for me. I know it's weird and probably not very healthy, but this is what it is. And then I have another part of my valve that I need to oil, and that is this part here, the part at the back here. I hope that you can see properly in the video, this part. And what I use for this is more of a rotary valve oil. So it is an oil that is a little bit thicker, and for that I use the same brand, actually, it's La Tromba, but it is called Klappenöl. I bought it in Berlin, in Germany. This doesn't have any smell at all. This is not my childhood valve oil smell. This is, and the white one. There's a white one that is a little bit thicker, but for this purpose I prefer to use the blue one. And this is actually key oil, so for key instruments, key like tubas, F tubas, C tubas, they have a lot of those. French horns, I guess, and German trumpets. They have this. So I put a few drops of that oil at the back here, at the back of the valve, and I also put a few drops of this thicker oil here on the spring. So the spring for the valve here, and I also put a few drops on the places where the screws are attached. So you see this little screw with the ball, where is it, like here for example, and there at the back, it's hard to show it, but here you see this thing that may zing sometimes, and I figured that putting a little bit of thick oil on those parts is not only going to make the system smoother and faster, but it is going to eliminate some little vibration sounds that you might have from your valve. So, you know, this is the combination of the two things that I use. The T2 for inside the actual system, and then the key oil, La Tromba key oil. I think this is mostly for French horns, that you can find, and I use this at the back of my Hagmann valves. That's it for today's video. There's just one thing that I need to add, is don't put too much oil. Don't add so much oil. If it's sticky, maybe it's a little bit dirty, maybe you have some dust that you need to clean up inside, so you can open the valves and actually clean them with a little toothbrush and some water and maybe even a bit of dishwashing liquid. Clean them up, put them back on. Don't put too much valve oil. And I've found on some students' horns that their valves were not working, and so they just continue putting a lot of oil, and actually they're not working well because there's too much oil, you know, so it makes it all gunky, and you know, it's too thick. Sometimes they use too thick of an oil, and sometimes it's just too much oil. So don't put too much oil, put it when it's necessary. If it's really gunky, then maybe you should like stop putting oil altogether, maybe put a little bit of water. If you can take them out, it's not so hard. Wash them inside or bring them to a shop or something so that I can wash them, and then just put a few drops. Don't drown the oil, especially for those Hagmanns. I find that those Hagmanns require much less oil. On the tires that I used to play before on my Hag, I had to oil them every single day, and that's what worked for that big chunky big chunky valve, sorry. But on the Hagmanns, you know, just a few drops every now and then is all that you really need. So that's it for today's video. If you've enjoyed it, please put a thumbs up. If you have a special favorite kind of valve oil that you would like to share with the group, please put your comments down below in the comments for this video. And if you've not done so already, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate your support. You can also visit my Patreon page. This is the page where I give you all the PDFs of all my exercises, etudes, arrangements, pieces, everything that I do, you get directly in your inbox. So you can check this out also. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.